gather close by the flickering fire.
The ring of the phone pierced the silence, jolting me from my sleep. My trembling hand reached for the receiver, heart pounding. "Hello?" I whispered, met only by an ominous silence on the other end. This nightly ritual had worn my nerves, leaving me feeling constantly watched, vulnerable. As I hung up, movement caught my eye. A dark figure stood motionless in the window of the abandoned house across the street, its gaze fixed upon me. Panic surged through my veins. I frantically dialed 911, desperate for help, yet no ring or answer. Surprisingly, an officer arrived promptly, claiming he traced the calls to that very house. We approached cautiously, the air thick with foreboding. The ancient door creaked open, revealing a cold, dusty interior, untouched for years. But one room told a different story, its walls plastered with photos of me, my home, my daily routines, a shrine to obsession. "This house has no power, no phone line. How?" I muttered, bewildered. The impossibility of the situation sent chills down my spine. Was I losing my grip on reality? Suddenly, the lights flickered and died. In the darkness, the officer looked up to me with a mocking grin. "Hello? Hello?" he said. My blood ran cold as realization dawned. He was the stalker. I bolted for my car, reluctantly looking back, every shadow around me a threat. The streets blurred, my car keys fumbling out of my pocket. My mind raced. Was this real, or had I descended into madness? My hand jittering to target the lock. Each turn brought terror as my car finally started. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, leaving only one certainty. The chilling fear was undeniably real. Was I finally free, or trapped in the stalker's game? The answer may never come, but the haunting question lingers.
As one tale ends and silence reigns, let whispers rise and stoke the flames. In the heart of night, where shadows gleam, another story begins, its eerie dream.
Tonight was supposed to be special. We found this old, abandoned house and thought it would be fun to explore and go for a swim. Laughter filled the air as we splashed around, but then she noticed a light in one of the windows. A spooky shadow moved, but we ignored it. Curiosity got the better of us. We stepped inside the house and instantly, the air turned cold. The door creaked shut behind us. Every step echoed ominously through the decaying halls. Our fear grew with each creak of the floorboards beneath our feet, the air thick and haunting. Then, we heard strange whispers, footsteps above us in the attic, and a faint, chilling laugh from the basement. A sense of dread washed over us as the house seemed to whisper. The walls seemed to close in, shadows stretching longer and darker, as if the house itself was alive and watching us. We decided to leave, but every door was mysteriously locked. Panic began to set in as we realized we were trapped. Our hearts pounded louder than our footsteps as we searched frantically for a way out. The oppressive darkness seemed to swallow our every move. The haunting presence was relentless, following us through each dark corridor and shadowy room. We felt eyes on us. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, almost deafening. We knew we had to act fast or be consumed by the house. The air was thick with malevolence, each second ticking by like a countdown to doom. With no other choice, I broke a window. The glass shattered, offering a fleeting chance of escape from our nightmare. We fled into the night, our hearts still racing. What was meant to be a fun night had turned into a horror we would never forget. The house now behind us, a dark silhouette against the night sky, as if the shadow was still watching us flee with horror.
In the heart of night, where shadows gleam, another story begins, its eerie dream.
The shrill scream of my circular saw cuts through the afternoon silence as I slice through rotting floorboards. Dust billows around me, catching sunlight through grimy windows. I've been at this for weeks, pouring sweat and savings into this decrepit Victorian mansion. The potential profit was too tempting to resist. A sudden chill runs down my spine. I pause, the saw's whine dying away. Something feels off. I shake it off and return to work, but the unease lingers. Later, mowing the overgrown lawn, movement in an upstairs window catches my eye. A pale face stares down, eyes dark and hollow. I blink, and it's gone. Must be a trick of the light, I tell myself, but my hands shake as I finish. That night, I hear whispers, faint at first, then louder. Words I can't make out, but the tone sends ice through my veins. Days pass, and incidents pile up. Objects move, doors slam shut. Whispers grow frequent and insistent. I try to ignore it all, focusing on the renovation and future payday. But dread builds in my gut. One evening, Sandra from the office calls. "Did you know the last agent who tried to sell that house disappeared?" My blood runs cold. "What do you mean disappeared?" "Just vanished, left everything behind, never seen again." I hang up, mind racing. A crash echoes from upstairs. In the master bedroom, I find shards of the old mirror on the floor, written in dust on the dresser. "Leave." That's it. I'm out. No profit is worth this. I race downstairs, grab my keys, and bolt for the door. As I reach for the handle, a cold hand grips my shoulder. I spin around, but there's nothing there, just an empty foyer and echoing laughter. I tear out of that house and don't look back. Let someone else deal with it. Some things are better left unsold.
As the embers fade and shadows grow, the night's secrets we now bestow. Until next time, when darkness claims, we'll gather again beside fiery flames.